Welcome back. This is the 69th video in our series on Unix tools. And I have to embarrass myself a little bit sometimes. And in the last video, at the end of the video, which you see I haven't changed the screen, you'll see I made a small mistake. When I did this make, I forgot to specify the makefile 2. So this make ran our old original makefile, this one. And what I was trying to demonstrate was this one. But that's how you know you're not getting some synthetic AI. You're getting a real person. Real people make mistakes. So let me prove to you that the makefile 2 works. So the first thing I need to do is do the clean, and then this time I need to remember to add the -f makefile 2, which does the build, and then we'll run the generated executable. There we go. So I'm sorry about that, but there's your correction. So what are we going to do next? Let's take a look at our makefile 2. Double check that we like everything in it, and we do. But you'll notice we don't have any comments anywhere because we don't know how to do that yet. This is a simple makefile, so you don't really need comments for it. But you can use comments if you want to, and they start with a sharp character like that, and then we could put some comments up here at the top. Like that. And you can scatter them anywhere in the file you want to, but you want to make sure at the end of each one of these sequence of rebuild rules for a target that you have a blank line. And it's best to have one more blank line at the end of the program. It's not, at the end of the file. And so there it is. Is there anything else that we need to change? It turns out that when you compile things, let me save this file. When you compile things, GCC or any other compiler has many, many options. And when we compiled, I only used the minimum. So let's do the clean. And then as an experiment, let's turn on some options for the compiler. We would still need the -C, but let's set some flags. What do these flags do? This says turn on all the normal warnings, turn on all the extra warnings. Anytime there's a rule that you don't always enforce, be pedantic and enforce the rule. I want the C standard version 11. I would like to use level 2 optimization. And then I would give the file that I want to compile. And you can see, even with all that, we didn't get any warnings. The file's pretty good. But it's very rare to see somebody compile something like this. Normally, they have options that they want to specify. And we need to somehow figure out a way to get those options into the makefile so that you don't have to repeat those options on every single compile. We want to do like we did with the CC variable. So let's go back into makefile 2. and ask ourselves, what can we do? It turns out that there are some well-known variable names that people use, and one of them is the CFLAGs. And so this is where you would put your things like this. And you'd put it one place in the file at the top next to the compiler. The reason these go together is because some compilers have different flags. How do we get that into the rule? If you remember, these are for the compiles, not the link. So it came after the -C, because the -C was really critical. That says compile into an object file, don't link right now. But here we can put our CFLAGs, and we can do the same thing on this one. And we've got the CFLAGs into the file. Let's save the file. Let's do the clean. And then let's do a regular build. And look, here is the output we had from a full build before we made this change. And here it is after we made the change. And you see we consistently got the same set of options for each one of the compiles. That's great. But are there options for the link? Here, and it turns out, yes, there are options for the link. And there is a convention that people use for these make files. And those are the LD flags. And so if you don't have any, you can leave it blank, but we could put some later. And you find the lines that are a link, and you say, this should go before the list of object files, and the list of object files is here, so I want to put the LD flags here, like that. And so if we were going to try some LD flags, you might not know any. One of the flags that you can use is to specify you want position independent coding, which is the modern style. And so let's try this out. Anytime you make a change to one of these up here, that's when you use the make clean. So we'll do a clean, and that will make sure that everything rebuilds. And then we'll try the build, and you'll see, yes, the fpic showed up. We added that, and here's the fpic down here. So we can add a variable for link options, and that's what the LD is the name of the linker. And so LD flags is the linker flags. And you say, wait a minute, I don't see any LD, I see GCC. Remember, GCC will call LD. And you can make it call something else if you want to, but normally it calls LD. So let's ask ourselves why Mr. Ham did not have a nice summary file at the beginning of this video like he normally does, where I can read everything. And of course the reason was I wanted to be able to point to my error from last time and show you how to fix it. But don't worry, for the next video I'll have a summary file for you. It's just this one time where I had to show you the screen from the previous video, so I couldn't do it. And you say, do it now, do it now. We've only got 20 seconds left in this video, so no time. But what did we learn? Let's go back into that make file one more time just to review, if I can type the name correctly. You can have many of these variables, and there are conventions or sort of standards for the variables. And I've shown you 3 of them. CC is normally your C compiler. C flags are the flags you use when you use the -C option. LD flags are the flags you use on the link here. And this allows us to change this here, and if I had 3 or 4 different links, they'd all use the same LD flags. And I have 2 compiles, but I only have to change the compile flag 1 time. It makes sure I use the same flags everywhere, and it also means I only need to change it 1 place at the top of the file. And the last thing I showed you was you can use sharp characters to put some comments in here if you wanted to. It's rare for people to worry about the license of a makefile, but some people do. But on a long makefile, say 50 lines, you might want to have some comments in there if you do something special. That's what I wanted to tell you in this video, and we're done. Please come back next time, and we'll do something different. It won't be make, it won't be VI, we'll do something different. But until then, thank you for listening.